Hello, it's me, mayohosko, coming to you at 60 frames per second in 4K resolution. No sugar, no filler, just real whole egg, and welcome to my channel.
Mayohosko, it's your boy, JP.
Real whole egg. Everybody say real whole egg. Real whole egg.
Real whole egg.
Real whole egg.
There we go. Capture that, Mayo. That's for you. That's for you.
Everyone say real whole egg at the same time. 1, 2, 3. Real
whole egg.
Sweet. I'll cap that and then add it to the intro.
That's kind of fucked up though. It's a little off-centered.
Real whole
egg.
Eggs?
Oh, our timing was off, but
Do we go
that's
slowly
okay.
or fast?
I think that was fine. Is that fine, or do you want us to do
Yes,
it
because
slow?
I actually prefer it when people do it all out of sync because that makes it more authentic.
Yeah.
Everyone on the panel say it at the same time. Okay.
Oh, okay.
What are we saying again?
Real whole egg.
Whole egg.
Okay. 1, 2, 3.
Real
Whole egg.
egg.
Close enough.
Well, if you don't mind me saying, a little bit of no sugar, no filler, a whole lot of real whole egg coming up on these Fridays.
Hello, Miss Zambi here, saying real whole egg. Mayohosko channel. Go check it out.
Real whole egg. There we go. I don't know what else you want. Wait, why am I... Are you talking about like what goes well with mayo? Also, how did you even come up with the name Mayohosko? Like, do you just love mayo? I don't know.
Rolling into the chat, we got to give a shout out. No sugar, no filler, just real whole egg. Splat out. That's what I'm talking about. Mayohosko. 2 whoop salute, Mayo. Welcome to the jankiness.
For Mayohosko, I give you a real whole egg. Wait, where did all these other eggs come from? What in the name of the Emperor is going on?
Everyone make sure to send in your videos of saying real whole egg and I'll add you to the intro. Thank you. Welcome to episode 31 of Real Whole Egg, everybody. We're back to do our normal stuff, and once again with our co-host from Blocks to Mocks. We're going to talk about minifigures today because minifigures have been on my mind recently for a variety of reasons, for a variety of questions, for a variety of rants, and I need to get a lot of stuff off my chest, so I thought that would be a good thing to talk about today. So I just wanted to say off the bat, yes, we do have a rundown, and before we get into March, I really need to get into this rundown. So now that it's 4 minutes, hello RC.
What's up, buddy? How are you?
Hello, it's me, Mayohosko, coming. Hello, it's me, Mayo. Oopsie, sorry, that was a glitch. Sorry about that. Anyway, how are things?
Good, man. How about you?
Well, things have been up in the air, and so I've been running around doing a bunch of different stuff, and so I'm kind of far behind on some things I need to do because I'm getting ready for university in 2 days, and that's kind of distracted me from doing some housekeeping. So let me start. Well, I'm gonna have to start the Twitch simulcast 10 minutes later because I'm so far behind. But how's your week gone?
Pretty good, man. That Blue Bricks order came in, so I'm pretty stoked about that. I'll finally make some more progress on the mountain. And I finished that medieval set that I was working on, that rebrickable set. So I got quite a bit of Lego done this week. I got rained out this weekend, so I was home all weekend. But usually I would have been out working, but it rained 100% of the weekend, all day Saturday, all day Sunday.
Yeah, I saw your Instagram reel about the finished product, and I saw I saw your photo about the finished product, and your reel about your home.
Oh, okay.
Do you want to expand upon that for those who haven't seen it?
Yeah, no, and you can go on Instagram and check it out. I wish I could have it right here, but it's actually in a shelf where I keep some other stuff until I have room to put it in the city. But it's a rebreakable. You know what? You showed me how to do this last time. Let's see if I can figure this out. I'm not too tech savvy, but let's see if I can't actually bring it up on share screen. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, let's see if you can do that. I'm still fussing around with the Twitch simulcast. So we'll get to the chat shortly. Anyway, my week has just been doing stuff with tech and doing and getting prepared for university. So I know when to catch trains, etc. Because there's a train station nearby the university.
Yeah, no.
You have to catch the bus the whole way through.
I was gonna say school is definitely important, man. Keep up on that. Pay attention. I put that before anything else, 100%. Let me see if I can figure this out right fast. I think it may be because I'm doing something else wrong.
Yeah, and I'm such a numbers person that the numbers aren't lining up for me right now. Anyway, yeah, so my opening monologue is that I'm seeing everyone talking about minifigures, and I'm beginning to realize that I'm now getting triggered when people are talking about minifigures. So you know what's the best thing to do with someone that's triggered about minifigures? Let's talk about minifigures.
That's funny.
Yeah.
You know what? Give me a minute. I'm gonna look on my phone here, and that'll be the easiest way to find them.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what else might be? Well, it won't really show you like it should.
Yeah, you take your time to do that, and I'm a first time wearing Kobe Bryant. We've got to have 5 seconds of silence for Kobe Bryant.
Okay.
Thank you. Anyway, hello chat. How's your week gone? We're very excited to have you. Who do we have today? Let's go up. So we have Gladiator Bricks Productions, Mr. Blue, Hoarder 66, Lego Team B, Johnny G from Blocks to Mox, our co-host, Christine Harper, Dave Bricks 76, Seth Bland, Digital Fanboy, Grumpy J, Mikey J Productions, YOLO X. Hello.
Mikey J in the chat?
Yeah, so and I see that Mikey J has got himself a new profile picture. And Mikey J said that well he actually I haven't talked to you about I was talking about this with Mikey J early at like 1 a.m. this morning for me. Actually, let's start the Twitch simulcast while I'm doing this because we got all this figured out. Actually, no, we don't have it figured out. Let's get the makers and creators, the makers and crafting category on Twitch, and now let's start streaming on Twitch. Okay, hello Twitch. We've just figured out the simulcast. Anyway, let's get back on with the show. So I was talking with Mikey J Productions at around 1 a.m. for me, and he actually mentioned that he's getting a little bit bored with his own streams because he mentioned that it's very tough being a host, and he finds it much easier being a co-host. And I must have fallen asleep before I got to message you, RC, but he actually mentioned that he wants, he likes our partnership enough that he actually, when he said that he wants to be a regular co-host, to paraphrase, he actually mentioned you as a draw card. And overall, the reaction I've gotten from people is that people like our partnership.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And I talked to
reception.
I actually, yeah, Mikey actually texted me or messaged me on IG earlier, and I told him absolutely.
Oh, nice, cool. So
Yeah.
you're in the loop about that. Good, because
man, 100%, man. Mikey's awesome.
Yeah, because for those who don't know, Mikey J Productions has one of the best castle. Well, he makes some of. No, sorry. Let me put this again. He has one of the best medieval stories going on out of all content creators. So much so that he's actually asking people if they want to be voice actors in his series, and because I love voice acting, I actually applied to be a voice actor, and he's gonna let me voice. Whoa, shit!
Oh, Timber.
Oopsie, that's not good.
Did it break anything?
No, it didn't. And I just saw that I didn't plug in the microphone. Does my microphone sound like shit, guys?
Doesn't sound too bad. It sounds like you're using the other one. It kind of sounds like you're a little bit away from it, but that's all.
Yeah, I'm so ill prepared.
What's up, Clever Pig? How are you, man?
Oh, shit. Probably sounds like shit on the Twitch end. Fuck.
Very nice, Mikey. But Mikey said you're going to be Majesto.
Well, there's a whole bunch of technical difficulties going on right now. This is rather embarrassing.
That's fine.
Anyway, I apologize for all of this. Let me get the music going because I'm so ill prepared. Okay, hopefully the microphone quality is better now.
All right, let me what did you here? Let me grab. I'm gonna grab like I don't know how many did you grab? You just boiled it all down to one minifig. That's it.
Well, I've got all of the minifigures I could ever want in my radius.
Well, yeah, you said yeah, because tonight we were going to talk about minifigs.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that after we address the chat.
All right, go ahead.
Because we have a rundown for these things. We like to be professional. But first, let me go to the Brick Fan to see if there's any noteworthy news. Not every week there's noteworthy news, which is why I like to skim through the Brick Fan to see if there is any. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen. Also, everyone out there, please let me know if the microphone quality is better. I apologize for not having my external mic plugged in earlier. So let's see if there's any. Wow, they've officially cancelled another convention. Wow.
Where's this one at?
That's Greeks by the Bay. I'm guessing that's the San Francisco one. Man, Lego builders on the west coast of the US, you guys are getting screwed by the closure of all these conventions.
Everybody in every business and every convention is pulling out of some of those cities, man.
Y'all are really getting screwed, and just like how everyone down in Alabama got screwed too. That's a modern GWP. We don't care about modern GWPs. Now this is exciting. I've been hyping this up for a while now. This is going to be the McLaren Formula One, but not the throwback papaya and blue livery, and it's not a Technic build. This is the previous generation livery of McLaren, and it's going to be brick built. And the only reason I am hyped about this is because if we can get a closer up image, it actually has a picture link to Flickr. That right there is Ayrton Senna. And if anyone knows anything about Formula One, you might know that Ayrton Senna is arguably the greatest of all time. I say Michael Schumacher, but other people will say that Ayrton Senna is the greatest of all time. And
he was.
I want this so badly. I really want this.
Yeah, no, that's going to be probably one of the coolest sets that they come out with. As far as like the Speed Champ and F1 part and all that stuff, that one right there is probably one of the coolest. And what I really hope somebody does is like an aftermarket company comes out with the Marlboro stickers, so that way you can make it more like authentic to the real car.
Yeah, I thought this was originally going to be a Speed Champions, but it's an Icon set.
Yeah, exactly, and it comes with quite the piece count. It's 693, so that's going to be, what's that going to be, like a 10 wide probably?
Well, if you so that's two.
It looks like 2 4 plates.
So the front of the nose is two studs wide. I'm pretty sure those are 2x6 plates underneath, so that's 10. Then you add an extra 1.5 studs for the diffusers on the front wing, or on the splitter, as they call it. So it's probably that's 13 wide. Then you probably add an extra three studs for the width of the tires. It's probably going to be a 16 wide vehicle, in my opinion. But I don't care. I much prefer this livery of a McLaren over the papaya and blue. Yes, I know that papaya and blue is the original livery of a McLaren car, which is why when I think it was when McLaren got independence from Mercedes, when they stopped buying Mercedes engines around 5 years ago, they went back to their traditional livery. But I don't care. I just think that the blue and orange looks kind of funky on a Formula One car. That's me personally. I can much rather deal with a yellow than an orange on a Formula One car. And if anyone's seen Formula One races in the past, you know that there have been some yellow cars. I think yellow is a better color than orange for Formula One. I honestly wish that McLaren had just kept this livery, and that they didn't go back to their traditional livery. That's me personally, but I know people who are much bigger fans of Formula One than me they might disagree with me. I'm just so hyped we're going to get an Ayrton Senna minifig, because this is a conversation we're going to talk about later. We previously got Michael Schumacher and Rubens Barrichello and Felipe Massa and Kimi Räikkönen. So this is definitely noteworthy news. I'm really stoked about this. What does Alan have to say about this? So Alan writes, Ayrton Senna is one of the most decorated drivers in Formula One history, and the team at McLaren had one of the best runs from the late 80s to the early 90s because of Ayrton Senna. LEGO is paying tribute to Senna by releasing the LEGO Icons McLaren MP4/4 and Ayrton Senna set 10330, which releases on March 1st. The set has 693 pieces and will retail at $80 US. We don't talk about Marvel. We don't talk about the Lego house. We don't talk about ideas progress. And yeah, that was the only piece of noteworthy news. So anyway, what does everyone in the chat think about that we're getting an Ayrton Senna minifigure? I'm really hyped.
Johnny doesn't seem to like the back tires.
Yeah, well, people will always have their say about the thickness of any tires, because Lego has never been able to get their tires right, in my opinion. Anyway, personal news. Do you have any personal news?
No, man. Just same old, building, working. That's it, my friend.
Well, I guess the extent of my personal news is that I'm going back to university on Monday, and so as a result, I'll be making serious sacrifices as far as Lego goes, which is why I've been stockpiling an incredible amount of videos to get everyone through the next 3 months. And so so that means I can spend more time building Lego and less time having to film and edit Lego, so that I can still be a mock builder when I'm out of class and not doing homework. Anyway, now we're at 22 minutes. So let's read the chat, everybody. And so just to let everyone know, at the 22-minute mark, we'll always go and read what people are saying in the chat, and if there's anything that jumps out to you in the chat, RC, you can read it. So we have Lego Team B. So whenever we have bee themed YouTube channels that come up in here, we've got to play this.
Are you afraid of bees? They're only insects after all. I wouldn't care if hundreds were swarming around. I'd just blow smoke and make them buzz off. Buzz, 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 retorted Duck.
Now I've actually made a new version of that, which has selfies of myself with both Lego Team B and Brick Hive and Duck Bricks. So I will mention that. Is there anything interesting? I'm not seeing anything interesting. I forget. Yeah, I did say hello to Digital Fanboy. Gladiator is playing around with building customs. Nice. We always encourage customizing. Grumpy says, can't stay, so I gotta wake up early. Stay grumpy, everyone. Well, thank you for coming anyway, and don't forget to leave a like on your way out. I have no idea how Contra is going, but we're talking in the middle of the week because Contra keeps asking me questions about Brigzar, because I think he's getting more involved in vintage Lego than what I think. I just know that Contra's really busy with his personal life right now. Gladiator says, was it from watching the short custom minifigures I kept posting? Sorry if you saw them. Oh, I'm always happy to comment on people's videos, because by commenting on people's videos, it lets everyone know that you're still alive and that you're not dead. So for example, if someone stops commenting on my videos and I don't see you anywhere else, I'm just going to assume that you're dead. Honestly. And Mikey J will hop on in a few. That's nice. Dave says to both of us that we are clicking well. Oh, we don't want to usher in clicking and bricking, do we?
Thank you, Dave. We appreciate it.
Yeah, go follow the official Clicking and Bricking Instagram account. Hey, Clever Pig, what's up? Yes, I am going to be Magisto, and I've never gotten to voice a wizard before, so I'll finally get to use my old man voice. Also, because Seth Bland is in the chat, everyone please go into the chat and spam the guitar emoji, please. He knows what that's a reference to. Zixu! Zelda! Whenever Zelda comes up in the chat, you know what we've got to play. Paradisa, sun is shining all day. And we also have Scott's Blocks, PPP, real whole egg. You know what, Scott? You should really film a 10-second or 5-second video of yourself saying real whole egg with all that smoke in the background, and we'll add you to the intro. Also, what will be debuting in the next episode is that since From Blocks to Mox is now my co-host, he probably took more time to film himself saying real whole egg than anyone else in the intro, probably because he felt it was right to do so. So in the next episode, we will be debuting a new intro, and instead of myself headlining it, it's now From Blocks to Mox headlining it. And if you're following me on Instagram, you know that we now use a song picked by From Blocks to Mox on the Instagram stories. So Scott's Blocks is here, which means you know what we've got to do.
PPP.
The weed.
We might have to talk about that when the set comes out, Johnny, and I might have to talk about the evolution of the Lego wheel, because everyone knows the story of how someone invented the wheel and the wheel became the greatest invention since sliced bread. Nah, I'm kidding. But I do want to talk about the evolution of the Lego wheel in the future. So please remind me about your disapproval of the tires on that Formula One car in the future, because I might forget about it otherwise, Johnny. That's a good conversation that we need to have. Yes, Johnny G is here. It seems like a fun set. I think it'll be a fun set. I'm just hyped to get an Ayrton Senna minifigure, which makes me want to go on to Bricklink and buy the Michael Schumacher minifigure, which I'm glad the Michael Schumacher sells less for $10. I thought it would have sold for more. I better get it before the price jumps up. Zisu's mom is a bot builder. I need to get something that says your mama. And hey Steve. Zisu says Seth Flashernet Mayo is looking for something interesting in chat. I'm always looking for interesting stuff in the chat. Gladiator says, I was born of 50,000 years ago and was forced to fight the Roman Empire. Lol, just kidding. Ha! You know, that's a storyline you might want to do in your stop motions. Because for those who don't know, Gladiator is a stop motion filmer. No. And that's everyone so far. Yeah, so that's all the interesting stuff in the chat. Anyway, let me go prepare something. So while I'm doing this, I'll ask the first question about minifigures. RC, what do you think about minifigs?
I mean, obviously the Lego, like everything that Lego builds, like the building and everything, the minifigs just make it that much better. But I will say that some of the minifig stuff has gotten out of hand. Like, I mean, I get it. There's collectors and people like that go after it. But what some of these minifigs go for is just mind-boggling. You know, you can buy a car for what some of these go for.
Yeah, because that's something I'm going to talk about in a future video. Some of these minifigures are just getting really expensive. It's ridiculous.
Yep. And like for example, I know that Boba Fett minifigure from Cloud City. That thing's like a $6,000 pig, pretty much.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
That's just insane.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Some of these minifigures, like, I just think like, man, that's ridiculous. I understand collecting and whatnot, but that's crazy.
Okay, I need to switch my wheel. Like, no, why?
Exactly,
Oh,
Scotty. I'm in
no.
the same boat. I never get it either.
What? That's not what? That's not right.
So Zizu just mentioned, I love minifigures, but unfortunately it locks most into a specific scale for mocks. I like seeing builds that are larger than minifig scale. So it's funny you say that, Zizu, because another idea of mine that I came up with is how cool would it be if you had a city built and you used the Technic figures as your minifigs? So you would do it to like the Technic figure scale.
I'm having some major difficulties. Hey, Mikey.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey.
What's up, buddy?
Well, I didn't have time to get my PC downstairs set up, so I just hopped on here today. It's an old computer I got down there. It doesn't have an SSD drive, so it takes a good 5 minutes to boot up and everything.
Yeah. No.
Well, I've got some breaking news. I just lost my Russian roulette. So yeah, I'm gonna have to recreate my Russian roulette. That sucks.
Mikey, that's funny you say you got, would you say it was like 5 years old? Like when it's something 6 months old now, it's like outdated.
Right.
Yeah.
No, it was they're just they're good little PCs to pick up Dell Optiplexes. They're good like office PCs. And yeah, so that's what I have downstairs that we stream out of in our Lego room. The PC I'm on right now is actually where I do all my editing and everything.
Oh, okay. It's got more storage space and stuff like that.
Yeah, and it's just a better computer all around. Faster. I can game on it, all that fun stuff.
Yeah. Anyway, so we're just gonna have to, because of all these technical difficulties, the schedule is going to be a little bit different. But so we've got RC's thoughts about figs. Mikey, what's your thoughts about figs?
Well, I missed that part of the discussion because I was getting my computer set up. So give me a recap real quick.
Well, RC said that it's ridiculous that some figures are getting expensive. I've been saying that I think there's way too much hype about minifigures, and I'm on record saying that if the minifigs are the best part about the set, it's a bad set. Those are some of our thoughts. Do you have any thoughts about figs?
Oh, absolutely. It's funny you guys bring that up because we were literally just getting our ducks in a row on the Lego purchases we're going to be making over the course of the next year and everything. And we were talking about the Disney sets, and those ones, I completely agree. Like, they're all just based on the minifigs. It's... and you want the minifigs though, like you do. Like we were talking about that Disney villains one. Like I want that Jafar. I'm not gonna lie, he's a cool looking minifig. But it's like the actual set itself. I'm just like, it doesn't really get me excited. No.
Yeah, because it's like most sets. I don't care if they have minifigures or not.
One thing that I've done before, and like, if I want the minifigure more than I want the set, then I'll just go on eBay and find the minifigure because, honestly, they do try and get you with that. They try and get you to buy another castle. Like, what is that? The second or third Disney castle that they made, and they're all kind of similar to each other, but you do it just for the minifigs.
Yeah. But that's when people collect those themes. They want the minifigures, and that's.
It's just like Series 25, this newest one that came out. Wasn't that Series 25? And they know that people want the minifigures. That's why they do things the way that they do, and that's what they did with like these cardboard boxes and this whole Series 25, and then that was a whole bunch of hoopla. And yeah, man, they know that people want the minifigures, so they try and make the minifigures the selling point.
Right, and I don't have a problem with that. It's when they make them hard to get your hands on. That's what irks me. Like, like people want the goat herder because of the goat. Like, why does that have to be in the box then? Why is that the first time out in the box? Like, people are chomping at the bit to get that thing. So just give it to them, man. Quit playing hard to get.
I know the exact reason why, and this is why someone needs to tell Stud Sidious to just appear in this chat right now, because I'm going to, because as a wise old NFL fan called Stud Sidious will say, it's a marketing strategy.
Oh yeah.
And as everyone knows, whenever Stud Sidious says it's a marketing strategy, everyone has to take a drink. And to address your question, Zissou, 24 was Kobe Bryant's number.
Magic was 32.
Yeah. Magic Johnson was 32. Shaquille O'Neal was 34.
Yep.
I have a Magic Johnson jersey.
I can't remember what Kareem's number was, and Shaquille O'Neal has a lot to do with the Orlando Magic because he was their first ever pick in the either the 92 or the 88 expansion draft.
Yeah, and I'm an old school basketball fan from way back. So like Kareem, he was number 33.
Yeah. It just seems like all of the good Lakers players are always in the 30s.
Well,
and we will be talking about the NBA. We will be talking about the NBA minifigures and the soccer minifigures and some of the baseball and the collectible minifigs, etc. later.
Yeah, but don't get me started on NBA. I got a lot of strong opinions on that right now.
Yeah.
Baseball. No, I haven't watched basketball since like Jordan played. It was like Jordan, Pippen, Rodman. All that. When I was young, and I really haven't gotten back into it. Every once in a while, I go to a Magic game out here, but that's just for something to do.
I like defense. I miss defense being played in the NBA game. It's just all run and gun offense, all nonstop. It's just it's not what it used to be. Give me a good game that's like 85-90, where every possession matters. That's good basketball, man.
Yeah.
Hello, Trebs Reborn. Well, Anthony Davis. We know that Anthony Davis, who wears the number 3, owns the micro scale Harry Potter castle, which is what your partner really likes Harry Potter, Mikey. But we also know that Miles Turner has a life-size scale model of Darth Vader, which he commissioned that designer that they featured for Black History Month on Good Morning Brickwell to change the head of Darth Vader to Miles Turner's head. So we know that Miles Turner is probably the biggest Lego collector in the NBA. But that's a whole nother topic about the scaled brick built statues, if you will, like the old busts of both, in particular in Star Wars. Less so about the ones they do nowadays.
Does he still play for the Pacers, or is he playing for somebody else now?
They get traded so many times throughout their contracts. I don't know where players are other than the stars and the superstars. But anyway, this is the time of show, and this is something I want to introduce to the show where we do quick 60-second answers. I fire off a bunch of questions that have to be answered by the panelists in 60 seconds or less about anything about the topic we're talking about, and it's what they do on Pardon the Interruption on ESPN, and I thought it would be something to do. So the first question I'll ask to everyone in the panel is, in 60 seconds or less, what is your favorite minifigure? Let's let Mikey answer first.
60 seconds or less. What's my favorite minifigure? Oh, that's. Are we talking nostalgia? Are we talking value? Are we talking everything in between? If we're talking straight nostalgia, I have to go with Captain Roger Redbeard, number 1. And then number 2 would just give me a Forestman with the black bib. There's something about the black bib Forestman. And then, for value-wise, my Davy Jones is up there. Grima Wormtongue is up there. Deadpool, he's a fairly valuable minifig as well. So, real quick, those are probably my top ones.
RC, what's your favorite minifigure?
All right, so I had a little more heads up on this question than Mikey J did, but I ultimately went because I thought we were picking just one. So I ultimately went with the Blacktron, the Blacktron minifig that came out, and when it first came out, in fact, I got one right here.
Oh, nice.
Right here.
The OG.
Yep, and this one actually is the OG one, and not the one that came with the new GWP. But this was probably going to be my answer, and the reason why is because when I was a kid and this came out, I thought I was the coolest kid on the block when I took this minifig to school and pulled it out of my pocket. And that's probably why I would go ahead, because this is probably my favorite minifigure for that reason right there. But
let me see him again.
My favorite minifigure of all time is probably this guy. So imagine if he has the classic smiley face, and he has the Generation 1 of the baseball cap. This is the Generation 2, and you can tell because it has the mini pig hole. The original Octan worker from 1992. It's such a simplistic logo. It's an iconic logo. Octan is a big reason why 1992 is my favorite year for Lego ever. The early 90s was a transitional period with the details of Lego minifigures getting better because we just got the more printed faces. We were getting away from more the simplistic torso designs, and this represents the pinnacle of development of Lego Town, in my opinion. You can make an argument for the transition from city center to world city or world city to city, but that's my answer. Like the next question is, what is your most nostalgic minifigure from your childhood? Let's go with RC.
Well, that kind of that's gonna be that one that I said is my main fig. So but I can tell you right now, there was another one that I always thought was cool because it came out when Lego finally came out with their first video game, and it was Mr. Information. And I always thought it was cool, and then I found out that they actually came out with that minifig. So this is another one that I thought was cool. I never had it when I was young, but I do have it now. And I always thought that Mr. Information was a pretty cool minifig.
The Infomaniac from Lego Loco or Lego Island. Nice. Yeah, that was pretty cool. What's your most nostalgic minifigure?
Well, since we already kind of touched on a couple of them, I'll go with Admiral Woodhouse, the Imperial Admiral, the red coat one. I didn't have Governor Broadside when I was a kid, so he was my top Imperial that I had, and he still to this day I love that minifigure. Just the way he looks, he's and especially since we're getting less and less red coats. When are we ever gonna get the red coats again? Honestly.
Yeah. Fair enough.
My most nostalgic minifigure is something that I can't find in my collection, but it has to be Captain Cold from Ice Planet. Some people might remember the trends the translucent orange chainsaw meme from about 3 years ago. But when that meme started going around, it reminded me of when I first got introduced to Lego. I inherited my brother's old sets from the late 80s, early 90s. It was Blacktron 2 and Ice Planet. And for whatever reason, I think it's because I had more Ice Planet sets than Blacktron 2 sets, I always captivated towards the Ice Planet figures more than the Blacktron 2 figures, even though I think the Blacktron 2 logo is a better torso design than on the Ice Planet. I played with them more. They had the translucent orange chainsaw, they had the translucent orange visors, and I remember having so many scenes with the ISAT 5 launching the rocket up into the air, swishing it around with my hands, and the minifigures always in that cab was figures like Captain Cold, and I always remember Captain Cold because he had that nice white mustache, kind of like what I'm going right here. Anyway, next question. If you could redo any Lego minifigure they've done, what would it be and what would you change about it? Let's go with Mikey.
Oh man. You got me thinking about Ice Planet now after you were just talking, because I have some of those. But the Black Knight minifigures. Give me an old school Black Knight. You know what I'm talking about, Mayo?
Yeah, because some people have addressed their thoughts about the neoclassic one from the Magisto's Magical Workshop GWP.
No, I'm talking about the ones that came in like Black Knight's Castle and Black Monarch's Castle. They had I have him downstairs. I wish I could grab him, but he's got a bald and he's got the red mustache, his head, and he's just he was just like one of the main original knights. You know, came on a horse and like little battle packs and whatnot.
Yeah, because what I was saying is that some people didn't like the details of the neoclassic version, and they wish it was more authentic. See, what's your answer?
You know, I had such a long Dark Age period. I can't tell you how many minifigs are out there that I would, you know, there's so many nowadays. It's crazy. When I was a kid, there was only like a handful of them to pick from, you know. And then each team, they all had the same face, you know. People didn't have different faces, and they didn't have flesh tone, and they didn't have this and that. But if I could say anything, like, what's that? Did I break up or did Mayo?
Yeah, something weird just happened on my end with the internet. Anyway, I guess that's your answer.
No, I was gonna say if I could change anything, the minifigs I could change.
There's some weird shit going on. Anyway, if I was to redo if I was to redo a minifigure, I would go back.
Can you hear me, Mikey?
I can hear you.
This is getting really frustrating. I'm sorry, folks. Anyway, so what I would go back and do is I would go back and change every minifigure that has printing on a yellow torso. I'm pretty sure I talked about this on your stream this week, Mikey J. Is that when it comes to the yellow classic space astronaut, when it comes to the pirate minifigures with the red and white or the blue and white horizontal stripes, when it comes to the yellow train worker from the 9-volt era, it just looks like they either used body paint or they put tattoos on their body.
Yeah.
Because that was all before the concept of flesh tones existed, so yellow was the only flesh tone. I just wish that they had used either a different yellow color or they had made it so that there was enough detail added onto the torsos and less yellow on it to make it look distinguishable, and so that because most of them had a small amount of detail, because it was so simple, it kind of looks like that. But if it was packed full of detail, if it had lining left, right, and center, I don't think it would look like a tattoo. But because it was so simple, I think it looked like just a tattoo, which is kind of creepy if you ask me.
You do look naked. I think so.
Yeah. Anyway, that was the end. So that was the end of the 60-second answers. Now we're going to do 30-second answers for fill in the blank. So it is blank that it took so long for us to get a minifigure with a goat. Mikey, you go first.
Hilarious. Hilarious.
And what's your answer, RC?
Absurd.
My answer.
That's it. I mean,
yeah. My answer would
a long time ago.
Now, just like what they do on Pardon the Interruption, the producers do allow for hyphenated words. So I'm going to say marketing strategy, because it is predictable that Lego does not give the people what they want because their customer service has been so bad, which if they have to fire people like Kevin Hinkle just because their profits are down, maybe they would actually make more profits if they just listened to us, and it wouldn't be a hilarious situation. Anyway, also, it is blank that collectible minifigures are so expensive these days. RC.
I'm sorry, I was having trouble hearing you. What's that? Go again?
Okay. It is blank that collectible minifigures are so expensive these days.
Oh, yeah, ridiculous.
Ridiculous. What's your word, Mikey?
Predictable.
My word is going to be hype, because do we really think if people didn't keep talking about collectible minifigures, if they just kind of fell under the radar, Lego wouldn't have as much material to look at and say, oh, hey, maybe there are enough suckers out there that we can bait them in to buy this stuff. You know?
Yeah.
It's just a really funny situation. Lego makes a whole lot of baffling decisions. Do better, Lego. Anyway, the last question is, it is blank that we don't get enough arm or leg printing on licensed minifigures. Mikey.
Frustrating.
Well, it's pretty good. I'd say it's a shame, because they could have some really cool minifigs if they did like some tattoo printings on the arms and stuff.
My answer would be lazy. And they've talked about this on a couple of Brickheads before, how they realise that the Lego designers have to work to more of a budget and more to prototypical accuracy. And often when they get the concept art, they don't reveal everything. So that's why they do make a lot of mistakes, because they're working on the concept art compared to their own IP things like Lego Ninjago or Lego Monkey Kid or Lego Friends that have a lot of detail on their things. I think they have more creative control, and it does seem very lazy, especially when they regress in detail over time. It's like, why? What's going on? Is the quality are you fearful about the quality control? Are you just not getting the right material from whoever's making these movies? It just seems very lazy, and there's a lot of questions we could be asking.
I've gone on record of saying that not only do I think that the minifigures during the 2010s are arguably the best minifigures Lego has ever made, but that was the best decade for Lego, period. Was the 2010s.
A lot of people will say the same.
You look at those minifigures. I mean, you compare. I could compare like minifigures from like licensed sets. Just look at the Lord of the Rings minifigures. The old ones are not better across the board, but 4 out of 5 check marks would go in the old category, where only one's going to go in the new box. And so. Yeah. I mean, to me, that's like Mayo said. It seems like it's laziness. Like I don't know what else it could be other than the people are just not putting in as much effort as they used to.
Yeah, and then at the end of the day, I mean, I think they pretty much prop it up for what they can get away with. The kids when they chop it all up like that, and they know that the kids aren't going to really be paying attention like the adults. Adults make up probably a smaller portion, a way smaller portion than kids that buy it.
But doesn't that kind of go into my point though? Because Lego wasn't even really being marketed to adults so much in the 2010s. It was still a kid's toy first and foremost, and adults were getting into it more and more. Where now they literally have sets that are marketed to 18 plus. Yep. So it's like, shouldn't the ones that are marketed to 18 plus be for, if they're for adults, then do it adult up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, fair enough.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Let's see what the chat's saying. So Scott says, I'll never understand how a minifigure can be worth so freaking much, Mr. Gold. And Gladiator also questions who would pay $6,000. Zissou says, I love minifigures, but unfortunately it locks most into a specific scale for mocks, like seeing builds that are larger than minifigure scale. Dave says, I'm starting to collect some now, but not the hard ones to get. Zissou likes the Gaston minifig. Gladiator says, I got 3 of the goat herder. I know that Scott's box is way more than that. Johnny says, predatory tactics, Lego love their fans. Zissou says, Spud Webb was my favorite. Gladiator has some of the basketball minifigures. Yes, sports ball. Trevor's asking who are blocking their mock. Well, I still got to build the scaled up minifigure. What am I saying? A minifigure from last week. Okay, so he's still Miles Turner is still with the Pacers, and I think people are just listing off some minifigures in the chat. Dave says, work mode, I've got to cut some trees at my mother's place, so I've got the screen on in the background. Trev says, classic Johnny Thunder if we're talking nostalgia. I know a lot of people my age have nostalgia for Johnny Thunder. And speaking of thick ladies, Johnny, I've got some of those thick ladies in this little black box right now. As Isu says, Bear Knight from CMF is pretty fantastic. Can't pick a favourite one. Also Finn from the Adventure Time. Trev says, most nostalgic minifigure would be the original Indiana Jones figure. Clever Pig says, I really want the Highwayman CMF from a while back. It gives me Bloodborne vibes. Trev says, I would change Mr. Incredible and give him a torso from the video game. Yes, because a lot of people were complaining that he wasn't buff enough. Also says, I don't know why we haven't gotten that torso for the life of me. Zissou says, Raven minifigure from Teen Titans Go was disappointing. Also, all of the Airbender minifigures. Okay, Trebs disagrees that they look naked. We can have that debate in the future. Johnny says the 1990s called. Why is that Wolfpack guy not wearing a shirt but has black gloves on? Have you seen the Wolfpack minifigure from the Medieval Town Square yet?
The new one?
Yeah, the new one that's coming out.
Yeah, I've seen it. Do you know what else is coming out of my set? And I don't know how many people noticed it yet. It's the old knight helmet. The one that has the flip down shield that comes to a point. And yo, Cliff, how are you?
They've released some of those of late. There was some in the 90th Castle as well.
I have it. I don't. Are you sure?
The kind that are like a spaceman helmet and they just put the little visor over top. Is that what you're talking?
Yeah, kind of. And it comes. It's like a visor that's like open like a grate, and then it like comes to a point. You know what? In fact, I got one. Give me 2 seconds. I'll be right back.
All right.
Gladiator says it's the worst thing ever that we don't get the printing. Zisu's actually okay with less leg printing. And also jokes, when are we going to get a broccoli costume scene there for Scotty? Clever Pig says COVID sparked the adult focus big time. Pretty sure the first black box was Grand Piano in 2020. Could be wrong about that one. Yo! It's
All right, here. I found one right quick, Mikey. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna switch this camera.
Okay. You definitely got me. You piqued my interest because I'm like,
Okay. This right here.
Yeah, those guys. Yeah.
We'll put them on the big screen.
There's some in the 90th Castle like that.
Oh, okay. I didn't remember it being in there, but you may be right.
And they also did the CMF little girl knight that was based on the original Yellow Castle. She came with a gold one. Yeah, her visor's gold.
In which one?
The collectible minifigure series.
Okay, I got
She
you.
came with a little horse. She was supposed to be a little girl, but you know, you put bigger legs on her and make her an adult female knight.
Yeah, for sure. And that was
Also
the
on
minifigure?
Yeah.
What series?
Oh, I don't remember the series number, man. But Mayo, do you know what I'm talking about? Mayo might know.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I think it was series 23.
Okay, I'll have to check it out. You know, I didn't realize it, but they did another series where this last one, the 25, they just released Bat Lord again, or
Yes, they
Bat
did.
something.
Yeah.
And then they did another one that they called Fright Night, and it's actually in like transparent blue, and it was a couple series back as well. And then, but it's not quite Fright Nights like the Bat Lord is Fright Nights.
Let me see your knight again.
Is with what Seth's referring to?
Turn him sideways. That plume there. That's an old one, yeah.
Yeah, this is an OG one. This is an original one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was gonna say those plumes are getting somewhat rare. Get your hands on those.
Yeah, they look like feathers now.
Yeah, I only have a few of them old plumes like that.
Yeah, I got a couple.
Seth Bland makes a good point, Mikey. Were you referring to the girl with the horse on the stick?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
So anyway, we should be doing my rants right now, but I just can't help getting. I just can't help getting distracted by two things whenever RC's in that position: his tree and his clips.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Can you rotate your camera so that we can see that tree and everyone can admire the tree?
Yeah, see how well you can see it off of this one right fast. Hold on a second.
Yeah.
Let me see if it does better with this. See how well you can see it. Can you see it better that way?
Yeah, that's a massive overview. I mean, look at the details on those trees, man.
I appreciate it, guys.
Yeah, I love your city, man. It's so bustling.
Yes, for sure. It has quite a bit going on.
And all those slopes that you ordered on your Instagram reel are just going to make that cliff even bigger.
Oh yeah, no. I will actually. Let me see if you can hit. Yeah, there you go. So I will be able to finish all of this up here, and once I get above the A-frame cabin, that's pretty much where the next level starts. Is right at the roof line of the A-frame, and then that from the A-frame up, it's probably going to get pretty much. The mountain's going to look like it goes into the ceiling. Like I'm not going to bring it to a point. I'm just going to kind of bring it up there and make it. It will slope in some, but I'm not worried about bringing it to a small point or anything. But that will be all Arctic. That next level will be all Arctic theme, and I have already have all the sets. And you can't really see it here. I actually mounted the camera up in the corner so that way you guys can have like an overview of my city. But my castle will go in the back corner on the other side, so it'll be behind there. But once that's built up, the castle and everything will pretty much be the same height as the A-frame cabin and whatnot. So you'll be able to see it back there. And then this will continue, but then the mountain will turn to a Western theme. And so the mountain will just keep going on, and then on top of the mountain, I'll have, Indians and everything like that, doing smoke signals and teepees and all the above.
And
so are you going to be... Oh, sorry.
And you've got a YouTube channel for all of this stuff, don't you?
Oh yeah. From blocks to mocks is the same thing on YouTube. So now that I got these pieces, the longest thing is the shipping. Like for example, I ordered this on I think the 22nd of January, and it just got here now. And what's today? Like the 23rd or 24th. So it took it took a month. Yeah, so it took right at a month to get here. So now that I got them though, they go pretty fast. I'll be honest with you. It eats up a lot of blocks. This is the second order I've made this large, and I've made a couple of smaller orders in the past, but it runs through them.
So are you going to be putting Ice Planet sets up there and stuff?
Yeah, so kind of on the other side of this room, let me see, I turn it over that way a little bit. I was thinking about building a shelf on this back wall over here, and when I do kind of make like a space area that would have, I was thinking about Ice Planet on one side and maybe like a second shelf below it or next to it, depending on how far I can get it, to have it be Blacktron. Actually Blacktron 2. I'm just a really big fan of that because I really like the transparent green.
Yeah, I am as well. I like 2 better than 1.
Yeah, and so once I do that, I'll if you notice down here, like if you can see, all this is what I was talking to you about, cutting plates. My whole city, my whole table and everything, I've cut plate and wrapped everything in plate so I can build on the side of it too. And I'm gonna do that kind of up there when I build that space shelf, and I'll make it kind of look like a moon planet. So the shelf doesn't look like a shelf; it looks like a Lego shelf, like it's built out of Lego. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear you. Now that I've cut my first base plate, I'm definitely addicted to it, and I'm gonna be doing a lot more of it now.
Yeah, what I do is I run a bunch of plate in the length of it. And then I just run a razor blade right up against the plate or the brick. You can do brick too. But just run your brick where you want your line, and then run a razor blade right where that brick meets the plate. And you'll get a perfect line every time.
That's good
too. Anyway, let's get on with Rotten Egg.
This one is a rotten egg!
Rotten Eggs! It's rant time! Okay, let's get down to business, everybody. Some of us have already talked about it today on the stream, but let's just rant about some of the ridiculous prices of Lego minifigures. Like, I can understand why the Cloud City Boba Fett is ridiculously expensive. I can understand why Mr. Gold is ridiculously expensive. I can understand why the Will I Am figure is ridiculously expensive. I can understand why the Kidfest figures are ridiculously expensive because they are either convention exclusives or they are limited edition with an actual limited edition, because I have a whole nother rant about what is and isn't limited edition. But something I can't understand is when Lego only makes a minifigure in one set and no other set, and it's a bunch of years old, and then all of a sudden out of nowhere, people get the feeling, oh, why didn't I buy this back in the day? Even when they were alive back in the day, they could have bought it. They were alive. They would have had enough money to buy it back in the day, and yet 10 years later they feel, oh, I'm so sad I didn't get this. And then you get the situation where you have, particularly with Star Wars and Marvel, a bunch of these minifigures, they were only in one set. Some of them might not even be 10 years old, but they're selling for over $50. And the crazy ones, they get to over 100. Like, they weren't limited edition, they weren't regional exclusive. Lego made as many of those sets as they wanted to. They did not. They were not movie tie-ins. They weren't a gift with purchase. They were available in regular sets that you could purchase off the shelf, and they were sold for the normal amount of time. And yet, because of the hype, which I keep talking about, which is all of these points I will be making in a video I'm uploading in March. Stay tuned for my video why I think minifigures are overrated, and when I do release that, you'll be able to see it early access on my Patreon. Go pledge to me on Patreon, link in the description. Why are even? It's not that sellers are selling it for that high. It's that people are paying those prices. Why? You're just proving my point that Lego's got to buy the balls, man. Especially now that Lego owns Bricklink, it's easier for them to pick apart their customers and to see which of their customers they've got by the balls. And I just think it's so funny that all this hype has made these minifigures become so expensive, because if there were no hype, they would not be expensive. So if people were smart enough, they would stop talking about it, or the hype would go away and the value would go down. But the sellers know that's not going to happen. The sellers are going to hold these fanboys hostage, and Lego is going to collect their cut of it if they choose to sell them on Bricklink. And it's just like, I'm a vintage guy, you're a vintage guy, RC, you're a semi-vintage guy, Mikey J. Do any of these old figures?
So there is
of course they wouldn't.
No.
There is one minifigure. It's one of 5, and it is a C-3PO minifigure, but it's one of 5, and it's made out of 14 karat gold. It's solid gold, and they want like $200,000 for it.
Yeah, see, that's just insane.
Like if it's one of 5 and it's solid gold, I could understand that price. But imagine if it was that price and it was in a set that was made 10 years ago that Lego made as many of them as they want. Imagine if people would be prepared to pay that price. That would just be that would be the peak of my frustration with the market. And the point of my rant is, I'm not just criticizing the sellers, I'm criticizing the mentality of collectors, because you have a minifigure fetish and it's not healthy. As George Carlin once said, you have a child fetish and it's not healthy. There, end of my rant.
This one is a rotten egg!
Rotten eggs! It's rant time.
So, I mean, I guess what are what do we consider an expensive minifigure?
Anything over, in my opinion, anything over $20.
Anything over $20.
I feel that's fair. I feel $20 is getting up there.
Okay. Well, I'll be first to admit I've bought many minifigures above the $20 range and under the $100 range. Not a bunch, but you know, the higher end. You know, I paid a penny for my Davy Jones. I did, but I wanted them. I needed them. But now people that are paying, like, if you're talking $200, $300, $400, $500, $600 plus for a minifigure, no, I'm not doing it. No.
ZZ said anything over $8. Yeah, yeah. Facts.
That's a good one.
But I mean, as far as someone like the old ones, like now, like the female Forestman, the vintage female Forestman minifigure, I understand why she is an expensive minifigure because I'm pretty sure she only was released in one set from like 1987 or 88. So how many of that minifigure are even still out in the wild at this point? You know, so supply and demand plays a role there. But if we're talking about for something from like 2012 or something, like, yeah, like.
I thought the same thing, Mikey. When I got into it, I was surprised at how much a lot of the vintage figs went for. Like, they were fairly cheap. And I was like, that's impressive that they're not more than that, considering that they haven't been around in so long.
Like I was talking about my Black Knights earlier. They were. I have 4 of them, and none of them are actually 100% complete. I'm missing the plume on 2 of them. That's why I was eyeballing your plumes there earlier. But then I'm missing the helmets on a couple of other ones as well. But I don't know what those go for. I haven't looked them up, you know, online, but sometimes, you know, I'll go into Bricklink and not, you know, haven't paid attention to a value of a certain minifigure, and then you go and check it out and you're like, holy crap. There's a Green Dragon Knight. There was 2 official Green Dragon Knights from the Kingdoms era. And one came in the castle, and I have him. And I just literally checked it. He's going for $15. But then there's another one that came in a smaller set, and he's going for $50. And what I don't understand is why is that one in the smaller set going for such a more higher value than the one that came in the castle? That doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah. I could say, yeah, I get it, because the other one should be more rare.
You would think the one in the castle would be more rare.
Yeah, because the castle doesn't get bought as much as a small set.
Right.
Yeah. I'll be honest with you. This is the most expensive thing I have right here. And somebody bought them for me. But I use them as like the king chief over there in the Islander side.
Mm-hmm. He's cool.
That chief's name is King Kahuka. And
yeah,
and I was almost going to say that King Kahuka was my most nostalgic figure, because I grew up with the Islanders.
So since I used King Kahuka's mask on every single Islander that I had, because it was like all the warriors had that mask, I ended up using this as like the main guy. But this one is actually from the Adventurers, the Amazon. And,
oh yeah, here you go.
That's the Adventurers in the Amazon. Yeah. Yeah, that's those were Adventures in Amazon was '99, and that is probably the most colourful headdress that we've ever gotten.
Yeah, from Lego for sure, like without a doubt. And then it's even got pretty cool face on it here. Let's see. Even the face has like tattoos all over it.
Yeah. Do you collect Western stuff? So I imagine you got some Indian chiefs and stuff over there as well.
So I've only got mostly I just got let me see what else. Mostly I need to get the chief, but mostly I just got things like this right here. And I got a couple of other ones, but I don't have the suit yet. I got the head quest that happened to be in a bulk bin, but I didn't have any Western minifigures in that bulk bin. I don't know where.
I love that horse. I love that horse.
Yeah, so that was something that was really cool that they did with the Western horses is they painted them like Indians would paint their horses. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Gladiator's asking, will you be adding dinosaurs?
What's that?
He's asking, will you be adding any dinosaurs?
Oh, any dinosaurs? No, I wish I had space for that because it's really cool. I do think a lot of the dinosaurs are cool. Like I love the pterodactyls and the raptors and all that stuff. If I did anything that had any dinos whatsoever, just because of the way I've got my city set up, I'd probably get the Rex Celsior and have like the raptors with that. But that's probably is the extent of what I would do with any kind of dinosaurs.
Well, I'm gonna give myself a plug here real quick. Gladiator, if you're not subscribed to me, you should because we collect Jurassic Park and we're getting ready to we're gonna brick link the gate, the gate set because we're missing the front gate. And after I get that gate in, our Jurassic Park is gonna be looking nice.
Yeah, no, you definitely got quite the setup going on, Mikey.
Hi, Nessa. Pig says cowboys riding dinosaurs or like a T-Rex with a sheriff badge and spurs Zissou. And either way, I'm down. I was at Zissou's thinking Raptors having a shootout like your idea too. What else?
I did see them in the chat talking about raptors in the Western theme and dinos and Western stuff. My mashup I'm actually gonna do is I'm gonna do the aliens from Alien Conquest, and I'm gonna have them like abducting people from the Western thing, so it's almost like cowboys versus aliens.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, some people can't even afford the CMFs these days, which is why I was thinking, why I proposed the question: are they getting expensive? Zissou says, yeah, I struggle with it, fighting with myself to buy the Nocturna mini doll from Elves theme over $20, maybe someday. Going through some of the comments about minifigs. Clever Pig says that the Elves is pretty dope, not gonna lie. I have the Treehouse Hideaway, which was the first one, because it had so many good foliage pieces. And Elves kind of gets slept on, which is why the price of some of those Elves mini dolls have gotten expensive. So, wishing you nothing but the best in being able to afford that, Zissou, because I'm pretty sure Adora Bill has shelled out some money. Some of those. Gladiator says, I have both types of horses from the Western, them white and brown ones. Yeah, even though white horses are a lot rarer than brown horses in real life, Lego balances out the colors of their horses better. I think Zissou thinks it's a cool idea with the Rex Celsior.
That set's actually getting kind of expensive.
It is.
Yep.
And Zissou likes the combination between Alien Conquest and Western. Anyway, Johnny, if you're out there somewhere, I'm gonna show off the thick figures for you because I've got them all right here. But I am missing the key. I am missing the keychain that we traded for because for those who pledge to me on Patreon, you know that early access right now is my vlog with Johnny G, and he bought me a Harley Quinn keychain, and I gave him my Sig fig. So I wanted to show off, and also because Johnny mentioned some of the thick figs, I wanted to bring out my thick figs. So I've got the N-Pop girl, from the Lego Ninjago movie CMFs. I'm pretty sure this is a polybag version of Harley Quinn. And I've got one version of the Cotton Candy cheerleader from the video with the pom-poms. And I've got two of the Cotton Candy cheerleaders without the two of them without the pom-poms. And I've also got this random minifigure that's a Pirates, I think it's a Pirates Monster Fighters crossover with the Cotton Candy cheerleaders hair that I traded for on the trade wall at Brick Convention.
Do you have the zombie cheerleader girl?
Yes, I do. And because I went onto eBay years ago and bought the complete collection of Series 14 CMFs when they were below $90 Australian.
Very nice.
Because you can have a nice little cheerleading squad there.
Yeah, and I think it'd be. I want to make some custom pom-poms so that I can give my two other Cotton Candy cheerleaders some pom-poms. I want to give N-Pop Girl some pom-poms, and I want to give Harley Quinn some pom-poms too.
You know what? Since you're talking about that, we're talking about minifigures. Here, hold on.
Yeah, because I told RC to bring a sentimental figure to the stream, and my sentimental figure is the Octane Worker. Just imagine this with the classic smiley face and their first generation baseball cap. You go first.
Oh, go ahead.
I might bite my tongue years later, but this is my favorite minifigure of all time.
He is cool.
Yeah. I feel like that's an ideal Lego City guy. So,
I mean, I could say that Cotton Candy cheerleader or N-Pop Girl or Harley Quinn is my favorite. I could say that, and I was tempted to do it, but I still got to give it up to Mr. 1992 Octane Worker. I got to give it up.
So I got this. I like old school retro video games too, just like Mikey does. But I'm more like Super Nintendo, regular Nintendo, N64 kind of stuff. Mikey likes more like the arcade stuff, which is awesome. Then I went to this retro video game store that we got over here, and they happen to have this there, and so I picked it up. But check this out. It's especially since you were talking about a cheerleader or whatnot, but it's got a boxer, a hippie, a cheerleader, and a sailor. And it was like a Toys R Us exclusive.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
They're all pretty cool minifigures too. I was eyeballing the boxer at first because I have a male boxer from a collectible minifigure series line, and then I got a female one that came out a few years later. But you know, having a guy fight a girl just seems wrong. So like, I would love to have.
It was the male boxer from CMF Series 5, and it was the female kickboxer from CMF Series 15.
So this guy, he looks like he definitely was the loser.
Yeah, he does. I actually love that guy, man.
The hippie.
That guy is one of the CMFs that has a double-sided face.
Yeah, he has the Sony baloney face. And then they got
PPP, right?
And then it had like a sailor. So I thought
the sailor's cool too, but he's probably my least favorite of the four of them, honestly.
What were we gonna say, Mayo?
I just wanted to mention first, good night, Gladiator, and good night to everyone. Don't forget to where was it? Don't forget to leave a like on the stream so that mayohosko won't die because if my numbers go down, I'll stop making YouTube videos. Anyway, is that one of the Toys R Us Bricktober packs? The boxes of those figures, is that from Bricktober?
What's that?
Those figures in a box, is that from Bricktober?
I'm not sure. It says Toys R Us exclusive on it, and it says
Yeah,
limited-
which means it's from a Bricktober.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's pretty cool. They wanted $20 for it, so I thought that's cool. I'll grab it. And it comes with 4 figs, so I mean that breaks down to $5 a fig.
I've seen those things sell for more. Also,
Are you gonna open it up?
I wanted to mention.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. Maybe, probably. I don't know where I'll put the figs. The hippie, I might have him hiding out behind the dumpster somewhere.
Do you have? You don't have the mystery machine in the Scooby Doo gang, or do you?
Yeah, man.
Stick him in there with the Scooby gang.
I probably will. Look, I got check this out. This is the thing I got.
Also, wanted to mention some of the figs I traded for or bought at Wigvention. Got these 2 Paradisa figures. They both had red hair. These are also from 1992.
Oh, those are Paradisa figs. These
Yeah,
we got a Paradisa. So I got a construction worker, and I guess that minifig face there, from the hippie. I found him in a bolt bin too. I don't know if it's just the hippie or they made his face again, but I got him, and I got this construction worker, and he's tucked off behind a dumpster, and he's going on his his 30-minute lunch break there.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have had this one. I showed this to Scott's box. He cracked up. You got the Muppets there.
Yeah, I traded for some Muppets with Contra, and I have a Ned Flanders around here, but I don't know what I did with my Ned Flanders. I'm just trying to pick out some of the vintage figures. For some reason, we've got a shell worker that I guess Shell now owns the classic space space supply station from 1983. Guess it's a Shell. Guess that set is a Shell station now.
That's another thing about that new Arian Senna car that's coming out. It's coming out with a whole bunch of new Shell stickers.
Yeah. Got Palm Tree Island. Got this girl with a Skylight's torso from Lego Island.
Oh.
We got the soccer player from the early 2000s with the number 7 on the back.
Lucky number 7.
Yeah. I wish I had the Kobe Bryant figure, but that minifigure just exploded in value after.
Oh, I bet.
After his training.
Do you know what it's going for? That'd be an interesting one for sure.
I'm pretty sure it's more than I'm willing to pay for. Also, a late 90s paramedic. The Star of Life. Got the original chef. His torso is heavily yellowed. I mean, look at the back. Oh my god.
He spent a little time, too much time in the kitchen for sure.
Yeah, he must have got burned a few too many times. And I've already showed RC this before, but this is Aquazone.
Oh yeah. So I'm seeing the Kobe Bryant minifigure go from anywhere between 55 all the way up to 100 to somebody that wants $1,000 for one that's in a poly bag that's never been opened.
Yeah.
And I bought a classic space set at Wigvention, so I now have an OG red astronaut.
And I'm guessing the jersey makes a difference because the purple one seems cheaper than the yellow.
Yeah. The jersey and the face print are exclusive to all of the players.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying they have a Kobe Bryant in a purple, and then they have them in a yellow, and the yellow seems to always be more expensive than the purple.
Yeah, because the yellow is the home jersey, and the purple is the road jersey. Even though I'm pretty sure the road jerseys of all the players were only sold in the Ultimate Arena.
Hey, you know what? While we got Mr. Castle and Pirate on here himself, and I was going through the chats here, or not the chats, the links. Here, I'm gonna screen share that medieval mock that I built just recently.
Yeah.
Yeah. And while you do that, I'm gonna pick out some other stuff. And this is this one of is this from Hidden Side?
The hair almost looks like Harry Potter.
I traded for another C-3PO. And I also traded for this guy from Ninjago. I like the sculptings on these Ninjago hair pieces. Let's get that share screen.
Alright, let's see something here. Does it let me? It doesn't let me use it from here. I have to use it from. Let me see something here. Does this move the page when you guys are looking at it? Here,
yeah, it's moving.
Yeah, I'm seeing it move.
Okay.
You're in full control.
All right, cool. This thing is actually pretty legit. It comes with, like I said, it has a blacksmith shop. It's got a dock where you bring stuff in. It's got a massive library. It's got the bell tower. It's got the entranceway where it looks like you would come into the village, like you're almost inside the village the way that you're looking at it.
Mm-hmm.
And then the entranceway is more like how you enter. It's kind of right there behind the statue. Here, we'll go to some of these pictures that stay still for a minute. So,
yeah, that's beautiful, man.
Yeah, if you were to they give you a list of suggested minifigs for this, and I have one of them. It's the Hunchback, and so I had the Hunchback, but then there's a whole bunch of other suggested minifigs. I think the minifigs are what kind of jack the price up on this thing.
Yeah, because especially those the townsfolk are become kind of rare in the castle world.
Yeah.
People have Black Falcons, and Crusaders, and Forestmen, but just having some regular townsfolk is actually one of the harder things to collect in the castle world, unless you're willing to just use repurposed pirate minifigures, which that's what Lego themselves does, unfortunately.
Yeah. The one thing that I don't have any extra of, and I wish I did, just so that way I could use them on the horse, is this gold flag right here. What set did those gold flags come out of? Or era or theme or whatever? You see? Oh, here, I'll scroll back a bit. And
I'm pretty sure they came out in the 2013 castle.
Yeah, you see them up here?
Yeah.
Yeah, because if they're in the pearl gold, then yeah, Mikey's correct.
Okay, so I'll probably just go on Bricklink or eBay or something and find a couple of them for sale, because I do want a couple of them to match, because the horses, when they've got even when they got saddles, but then when they've got the whole the gown kind of thing that
the parting, the horse parting.
Yeah.
Lego officially calls it horse barding.
Yeah, and so then it comes with the what did they used to joust with? Lance. Yeah, it comes with the lance on the flagpole that kind of goes on, or they use a lance as a flagpole, and then they kind of put it on the horse. And so I want to run a couple of flags on those, like the horses, to match the actual theme there.
So what is your are you going with certain factions, or would you have any plan or?
So mostly what I'm gonna do is just do a Lions Night, like the King's Castle on one side and whatnot, and then I'm gonna have it's gonna cross over, and then there's gonna be a couple horsemen that are in the forest, But then on the back side of the forest, I'm going to build all the trees black. Like everything's going to be black. And we're going to have the Fright Nights. That's going to be the side that like the Fright Nights are on.
Okay.
So it's really, but like I said, I'm limited on space, and it's going to be like kind of, not a huge layout, but it will have a little bit of everything going on. And then what I'll do is the medieval set, this one that I just built right here, I'll kind of build like an entrance to go through, and then when it goes through the back, I'll have the castle sitting up on the mountain just a little further up, and it'll be elevated and higher up on the mountain.
I'm sure it's gonna look great, yeah, that's one of the things that I really enjoy about the castle theme, and you'll see this. It doesn't matter who is collecting it. Everybody has their own factions that they go to, and that's what is going to be in their Lego medieval world. And that's one thing I like about Castle better than even Pirates, because Pirates, you're going to have, you have the Imperials, and technically there's 3 different factions of the Imperials, but then you got Islanders, Pirates, and Townsfolk. That's pretty much it. But when it comes to Castle, there's like 30-something factions.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why I just wanted to kind of do like, I don't know, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and just make it look good. And, just like I know there's, I could gone further with the Imperials and the Pirates, and I just stuck to, a few pirate sets, the Islanders, and then that, the El Dorado. But I know that there's so many other outposts and other sets, and like you said, different factions of the Imperials, and then there's even the ones that I always draw a blank on, the green ones. Like you said,
the Imperial Armada.
The Armada ones, yeah. So like it could even get to like those guys, and I just kind of throw a little bit in there just to have a pirate side, just to have a castle side. Because I'll be honest with you, I could probably fill up every square foot of my house with Lego, and I wouldn't have enough room for all the different. If I was doing like a whole every faction and everything, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's the problem that I've run into, especially in my castle world, is that I want all my factions to have like their castle or their home base or whatever. And and so sometimes I think about it and I'm like, if I didn't do it this way and I just said, I'm gonna just build one massive castle in one village, like it would probably look more impressive. But at the same token, I like having my green dragons here, my black falcons here, my crusaders here. It just, there's something that's like nostalgic Lego about it that way for me.
And you're talking about all of the factions. Well, one of those factions were trolls within the Fantasy Castle era, but they weren't these trolls. These are actually cursed because of the troll figs from the Trolls movie sets. You can see that Poppy branch and the other character, I rearranged all of their stuff to look cursed. So you got Poppy with branches here. You got Poppy's hair on Branch's head, on Branch's body, on the other character's legs, and you've got Branch's head with Poppy's hair and Poppy's torso and Branch's legs. So I made these cursed just because I wanted to show how ridiculous these are. I need to post this on Instagram.
Do you remember when those things came out, Mikey? Like when you were young? Like it came out with the troll with the hair, and like you'd get them in McDonald's.
Oh yeah.
Oh, people were going shit crazy for those things. Just like Beanie Babies, bro. People were spending thousands of dollars on Beanie Babies.
Dude, listen to this story. You bring up Beanie Babies. So, my stepmom, she had the super rare Princess Diana Beanie Baby, the one that was like going for mega bucks. Well, her and my dad got divorced, and he's not a collector. He's not into that kind of stuff, and he was just mad at her because the relationship went sour and all that kind of stuff. And so he gave it to his dog, and his dog destroyed a Princess Diana beanie baby.
And that just made the value for everybody else go up. That's crazy. That's funny. Yeah, because that beanie baby at one point was worth like 20 grand or something.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what it's worth now. I know that beanie babies still have the following that they once did.
Right. But there was a time that was the crazy one.
Yeah, because like for all we complain about the prices of Lego minifigures, they got nothing on Beanie Babies.
Oh yeah. And then when I was a kid, Hot Wheels was another thing that started to take off. And then now I see nowadays there's some Hot Wheels that are worth some stupid money.
Speaking of Hot Wheels, I see you got a Corvette shirt on. Do you have one in real life?
Yeah, I actually do. I got a C5.
Ooh, you living the dream.
97 to 04.
Yeah, I drove one of those once, and it was my favorite car driving experience of my life. My uncle had one, and he gave me the keys and let me take it out. And this is the story I always tell people when you know you're playing with power, is when you're driving down the highway and you're going 70 and you floor it and it kicks back and you go.
Oh yeah.
Because you're not. I mean, think about it. Like if you're driving like a truck or something, you floor it. Yeah, you're gonna get some gas, but it's not gonna drop you back in your seat and take off when you're already going 70.
It pushes you into the seat. It's fun. Yeah. So it's a fun car. Mine's manual, so I can even like dictate how far I drop it down to like how much that push is gonna be. So like third gear isn't going to be near the push at 60 miles an hour that it is if I drop it in the second gear. Mm-hmm. And then, but yeah, no, it's a fun car, man. It's really fun car.
0 to 60 in 3.5, baby. You got the keys. Shut up and drive.
Is that the G5 song?
No, that's a Rihanna song.
Oh, okay. Because I know over there in Australia, you guys are big, what's her name fans?
Kylie Minogue?
Yep, Kylie Minogue. I thought that was one of her songs.
Yeah, and whenever you can, don't make me want to have to think about a BMG Records. I don't like a BMG Records. I'm just gonna move on.
Oh, okay. Mikey, so you were talking earlier that new village, that market village is day one for you, huh?
Yeah, it just the stars aligned, and it's that time of year, and and so I'm making it day one, and then I'm getting everything worked out that once Lego officially announces Barad-dûr, Lord of the Rings, I'll be getting that day one as well.
Yeah, that's
it's that time of the year, but it's not the most wonderful time of the year.
That Lord of the Rings is supposed to come out in August, right?
Last I heard was June, but
okay.
Anytime I hear any news on it, I'm on it. So
what's going on here big for me in June, and besides my birthday, what's up, Brick Hod?
Hey, he had a fun video I just caught
about clickbait. Before you go on to your monologue, let's throw up the birds and the bees for our bee themed channel.
All right, while you do that, I'll be right back.
Shit, where is it? Oh, yeah, here.
Are you afraid of bees? They're only insects after all. I wouldn't care if hundreds were swarming around. I'd just blow smoke and make them buzz off. Buzz, 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 retorted Duck.
That was beautiful. You know what I need to do? I need to get the crickets sound effects to come up whenever I make a pun. That's what I need to do.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, because like, especially if Tasman Blix ever comes back onto my streams, we could have a field day with the dad, with the dad jokes and the cricket sound effects. But Taz is doing his own thing on Twitch, and you should definitely go follow. I think it's Taz_Mania23 on Twitch now.
So Hive, I just wanted to say, every YouTube community has to have like their, people that are, shaking the bees' nests and, drawing out the hornets and all that kind of stuff. And I think that's your spot in the Lego community, man. You're like what was his name? I'm blanking on his name, but he used to do it quite a bit. But he stopped making content.
Where? Oh, actually, this isn't right. Oops, I misbuilt this. I'm not following the instructions properly. What am I doing? Yeah. So I was going to say, honestly, I want to go back and re-watch that video by Hive so that I can copy all of those faces. because like I've noticed videos I've done in over the last 2 months are better than what I used to do, because there are two elements. One is I've got to have the super energetic yelling and screaming about a question at the start of the video, and then title the video upon that question to get the keywords. And I read a while ago that videos that ask a question and you ask that question at the start of your video have a good click-through rate, and therefore more people are likely to click on it, because you can have all the aggressive tactics of the faces and bright images, or a diagonal line or the straight line with the prices of something, which is what I want to do more stuff about. Whenever I ask a question about Lego, and then I do an exposition about it and then answer it at the end of the video, that's a YouTube format that's actually gotten me a couple thousand view videos. You can do all of that stuff, but you've got to have a good title. And what I've learned over the past 2 years or so is that if you put LOL in anything, or if you put the question mark or an exclamation mark, those are really powerful for the click-through rates. And that's what my new strategy is: get the click-through rates and then get the retention. That's my new strategy. And if it wasn't for that strategy, I wouldn't be building this set right now.
No, I just remembered who I was thinking of. It was Life of Lego. He used to cause a little bit of controversy in the Lego community, and then he just stopped making content. I was looking for his channel. I think he might even deleted his channel. He had 11,000 subs too.
Yes, because I know the story about that. He got into some beef with some people on other people's live streams, and then he took that beef into Discord. He had some controversial opinions that people didn't agree about, and I think he might have slandered some people, and they were claiming that he defamed them, and he got wrapped up in so much controversy that first he deleted his Discord server. I was in his Discord server.
I was as well. I was looking for it. I couldn't find it.
And then he kind of just removed all trace of himself, and he just vanished like poof. He vanished faster than a magic spell casted by Magisto.
That's kind of what it's not what happened 100%, but Adshot was the same way. That was another guy we used to follow, and he had a accident where his Lego room burnt to the ground. But then after that, he was just done. He tried to come back, but he was like, forget it, I'm done.
Yeah, he had, but fortunately he did have insurance, and ever since that he's kind of been less and less active. I know he made a live stream a while, like within the last month, so he's still out there. I think he's changed his priorities.
Yeah, he even went as far as moving, so he doesn't even live at the same place anymore.
Yeah, which is obvious because his warehouse burnt down.
Yeah, he also said things were getting really weird, and somebody in the chat said something about they were the ones that burned his Lego room down, and so he was like, I don't know, this is getting odd, and then he said he was done, and then he ended up moving anyways.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Some things on the internet get strange because strange things are at the Circle Cave.
Yeah,
I can tell you guys stories about stuff that I've seen in the arcade community. There's some. I mean, just in a nutshell, is sometimes channels will get created and started, and their only purpose is to talk about not other channels, but like one other channel or two other channels. So they're like hyper focusing on certain individuals, and they might not even be the most popular people in that community. Like, it's not like we're saying, you know, it'd be like if somebody made a channel and all they did was talk about Jang bricks. Like every video they had was responding to Jang bricks. But it'd be like if somebody made, you know, a channel and all they did was, you know, copy Mayo's every move. Like, just to troll Mayo, like literally, like
he had somebody do something similar like that to him. He had somebody open up an account under his name, and then they went into all the chats and started talking shit.
Yeah, and there's something, and there's someone out there that it was very friendly with someone that we all consider a friend. I'm not going to mention their names. But I was doing some investigation, and one of my other friends went back to me and said, "Hey, remember that guy who used to come into your panel and say really weird shit? Well, and said the N word. Me and my friend did an investigation, and we traced it back to this one guy that I'm not gonna talk about, but is friends of a friend of a friend of a friend of a friend, and it's I haven't felt comfortable talking to him after that, because if not only was it a troll against me, but it was racist. So I ain't dealing with that. Yeah.
Hey, Will Harper, what's up, buddy? Hoarder's here.
Hey, Hoarder.
I will agree with you, Will. That is for sure. I've only been watching you guys since 2021, but I will say there's a lot of people that are falling out of the Lego community.
I'm for it. Don't let the door hit you.
He said, "See you later, alligator."
Well, I mean, I know you came in 2021, so you came in during the pandemic, but the pandemic brought in so many people, and at least you're legit. I mean, look what's behind you. You can't say you're not legit. I could smell a faker a mile away.
Yeah, because like I'm some people might know this. I uploaded my first video on the I think on the 13th of January 2013, and when I was in the midst of high school, I saw that my stuff isn't doing as well as what I wanted to be. It's not worth it for me anymore. So I took a 4-year hiatus. At the same time, the Brick Adjuster took a 4-year hiatus because he got addicted to Pokemon Go. So we both took hiatuses at the same time, and we both came back to YouTube at a similar time. I came back because I wanted to see. Well, I deleted all of my old videos because of Copper, and 6 months went by, and I realized, well, maybe Copper wasn't all it's cracked up to be, because the commissioner of the FCC or the FTC said he gave the impression of that YouTube creators are a fish in a barrel and we're going to shoot you. Well, they didn't shoot as many fish as what they promised, and the whole community created an atmosphere and a video style which was easily copyable that we weren't going to get flagged as made for kids, and that's why I'm back, because I waited it out and I rebooted my channel, and now look where I am. And only someone who knows how to use the Wayback Machine correctly can go back and watch my old videos.
I'll tell you what, Clever Pig brings up a good point too. He goes, yeah, for sure. People are dropping off. I see people go way too hard, way too fast with Lego and burn out almost immediately. And I've seen that as well. I haven't really been into this too long. Like I said, I got back into it in August of 2021. And the only reason I know that is because that's when I had to have my AC replaced. And I was living out of my garage because my garage has AC. And I went to Walmart, and I ended up grabbing a set because I'd been watching Beyond the Brick. So I was like, you know what, I'm just going to grab a set. I'm going to see what it's about. And I ended up buying that Hot Rod set, and I got back into it. But since I've been back, I have seen multiple people start an Instagram page, start a YouTube page, do live streams, whatever, and then now they're gone. I don't know what's with them. I haven't seen high nor low for them on any social media.
Well, that's why I say, you're legit, and what I mean by that is that there's a lot of people that just talk Lego, just talk Lego. The new sets are coming out, and we'll dissect, our thoughts and feelings 3 ways to Sunday about that. But what is your collection like? What do you have? Don't show me, tell me. I mean, don't tell me, show me.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's what, I want to see what you got. And because everybody's got their own stuff.
So that's what almost drew me back into it, is because I was watching things like Beyond the Brick, and be honest with you, one of the first people that I got into that I saw did Lego live streams was actually Bevan from Bevan's Brick. I don't know if you know him.
Yeah, I've heard of him.
Yep, him and another guy called Brickcraft. I don't know if you've heard of him.
Yeah, I've heard of him as well.
Yeah,
I need to go back and binge watch the entire existence of Brickcraft and Mr. Bookie Boo. I need to go back and watch all of their videos they've ever made that are sitting up there.
And what I loved about both of them is that they were building something that they created. Wasn't anything that really came out of a box. Most of everything that they had they were ordering pieces and then they were building it all.
Right.
Yeah. And that's
really inspirational. And I take and kind of like how you've gotten inspired by Brickcraft, I've gotten inspired by someone called Matt Simmons, who is barely clinging on to existence. They've been making Lego City stuff for the last 17 years. Go subscribe to Matt Simmons. So I'm pretty sure I have their channel linked in my description. I became a mock builder because I just couldn't afford vintage sets and I wanted to mimic the vintage style. And now and now the most fun I have with Lego is building mocks. It's a weird dynamic. I don't like building sets. I like the finished product. I may not always like my mocks, but I enjoy building them.
See, I classify myself as a world builder. I'm not a great mockist, but I can find a way to get things together and make it look cohesive. So I'm more of a set builder, but I like bringing them all together and creating a world. So it's basically like if a Lego set is a jigsaw puzzle, well then like after I've completed one jigsaw puzzle, I like to bring multiple jigsaw puzzles together and make a giant jigsaw puzzle.
Yeah. And so now I want to talk about some other stuff. Is that a lot of people have sports stadiums in their cities, and I feel like a soccer stadium, which I've got a soccer stadium that has really cool soccer minifigures. That's just going to be too big for my city. So what I've always dreamed about is building a basketball court, not necessarily a stadium, but just a court, like an outdoor court, and with the official basketball bricks, and get a crap ton of the unlicensed basketball figures from stuff like the NBA Challenge, because the Ultimate Arena came with the actual NBA players. The NBA Challenge came with the unlicensed yellow skin players that had a generic red and blue. Had the NBA logo on it, but they weren't actual figures. I'd love to get a whole bunch of them. And the basketball figures had to be designed specifically for them to have the spring legs to pick up the ball, and they had to have longer arms to reach at the ball. And you see custom figure printing people making custom printed minifigures based on real NBA players, but they like I've seen Briggsar get a LeBron James and a Dominic Wilkins and a Steph Curry, but you can't use them with the actual basketball courts because they don't have the spring loaded legs or the extended arms. I want to go back and get those so that I can actually play basketball.
Will says that I'm living the Lego movie, and I appreciate that. That was, you don't know, that movie had a big impact on me, because when that movie come out, 2012, 2013? 2014. So that's really when I was coming out of my Lego dark ages, was the early 2010s, and so that movie and they messed me up on Craggle, man. I still won't touch this stuff.
Before I forget, you had mentioned it, and then I meant to mention to it earlier. Beyond the Brick actually just did a video. Have you seen that guy that they just did another interview with, where all he does is like one big castle thing?
Yeah, I did see that, and that is awesome. I mean, I gotta be honest. Just the other day, the wife and I were talking, and like, I love my Lego city. Don't get me wrong. I'm not getting rid of it. You know, my little guy's sitting here. I don't want him to freak out. But part of, like I said to my wife, like, imagine what we could do if we just said we're done with having a city and take that space and put it towards, you know, whether it's Harry Potter or Castle, and just go all out like that with just like one massive thing like that.
Yeah, no, for sure. I've often thought about that myself with like my own city. It's like, man, if I just had one theme, I could really go all out. But I do like the multiple themes throughout the whole city.
I do as well.
I know that Macro Bricks has considered scrapping his city and just making an all-out a Castle Pirates layout.
Well, you know, I know Macro's got some sets that if he was to sell them that are out of the city, he would definitely get some money for them, especially some of those modern ones. And he's got like 6 or 7, like he's got copies of some of those modules.
Yeah, he does.
And what I want to do on my streams is when I finish building this set, probably by next stream, I need to rebuild my castle, and I think it'd be cool to do at least another stream just talking about straight up castle, and see if we can get Mark back on, because he's building a lot of mills plates for his castle stuff right now. Also, something I wanted to ask is, Mikey, what do you make about the evolution of castle figs through the years?
Of castle minifigs?
Yeah, through the years.
The very early run, starting from like 78 to really when the factions split off, that's probably like 86 or something like that. Those original ones,
1984.
I'm kind of ho-hum about, if I'm honest. But when we get to the Black Falcons and the Forestmen and the Crusaders, all the typical factions, all those ones, I still love those minifigures. But having said that, I'm still gonna say the 2000 and the Kingdoms era, including the 2013 sets. The 2013 wave gets a lot of hate, but look at those minifigures. There's some nice minifigures in there. So the Kingdom, so we're taking 2008 to about 2013, I think is the best era of castle minifigures.
Yeah, I'm gonna probably say I'm really partial for all the figures they did from 87 to 94. When they got around to the Royal Knights, I think they started to get a little bit too detailed and a little bit funky for my liking.
Yeah, I agree. And that whole era, I've told this to RC before, but from about 97, 98 to about 2006, 2007, that whole era, I don't like a whole lot, if I'm honest, and I don't know it that well either. Like, I'll watch other people talking about castle videos, and they'll go into some of those factions from like 2004, and and it's all news to me, because to me it's like it's the stuff from the 80s, and then it's the 2010s on, is kind of where I'm at.
Yeah, so the Fright Nights, you don't know, you don't really pay much attention to those and stuff.
No, like the Fright Nights mean literally not much to me at all, man.
Yeah.
But I get that. That's why I say the castle theme is cool, because I have a whole bunch of the red dragons, because I went all in on the 2013 wave. I was getting those sets off the shelves on clearance, so I went all in on them. So I got a whole bunch of those red dragon knights, and a lot of people, they don't like that faction because that came out in a not popular time for Lego Castle. So that's what's cool. Like when I see people that they are into the Fright Nights and stuff, or I'm like, yeah, that's what this theme's about. Everyone's got their little factions and their little groupings, and that's how it is.
Yeah, for sure. That's cool though, because that 2008, 2010 that you're talking about. What year was the one where they had chrome swords?
The chrome swords were from Fright Nights to Knights Kingdom 1.
Okay, yeah, I always thought that
those years we're talking 1997 to 2003.
Yeah, I have a couple of those chrome swords as well.
Yeah, I think it doesn't matter what castle minifig you have. When you give him the chrome sword, he just looks so much cooler.
Although I found a sword that tops any sword that's ever been released through the castle theme, and that's the sword of Gryffindor from Harry Potter. The wife had a couple of extras, so I took one, and it's my Excalibur, and it's the coolest looking sword I got. It is.
Nice.
I wish I could say they made something cooler through the castle theme, but even that chrome sword, I'll put them side by side, and the sword of Gryffindor is cooler looking.
Yeah, I don't. That one, like right off the top of my head, I don't know. Maybe I'll have to look it up, but I'm not.
It's got like gems on it and stuff on the hilt.
Oh, okay, that's cool. Here, let's look it up. Real quick. What is it? It's called what? The sword of what?
What set did it come in, honey? Sorry. Was it in Gringotts? Yeah. It was just the one from Gringotts. If you look up
the newest Gringotts?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see.
No, I'm good.
Because that was always the problem I had is
I see it.
I was like, what sword can be Excalibur? Excalibur's got to be special,
Yeah, check this out. We'll put it up on here. Hold on a second. That thing is actually pretty legit. I haven't seen that. And going for a pretty penny. That is a $20 accessory.
Really?
Yeah, there you
Is
go.
Is that from Harry Potter?
Yeah.
Yeah, because Harry Potter came out halfway through the era of Chrome Gold, because Harry Potter came out in 2001, and that was still when all the minifigures licensed had the yellow heads. They didn't come out with the flesh tones until 04.
But if that sword was chrome gold or even pearl gold with those jewels on it, that's the perfect sword. That would be the perfect sword.
This is the one you're talking about, right, Mikey?
That's the one I got. Yep.
And this came in the new
It's got the trans red gems in it, which is nice.
Yeah, he's saying this came with the newest Gringotts Bank.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you see they're wanting $18 for it plus shipping.
Well,
that's a cool sword, though.
The missus has got a few of them because she gave it to me. So she only had one. I wouldn't get it.
Those bad boys up on eBay. Yeah, because 5 of those are $100 bills, then.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, because and also I believe it was Professor Quirrell from Harry Potter that gave us the first double-sided face.
Hey, since we're on a minifigure show, I'm going to show you guys the castle guy that I got. I'll show you right there.
I'm pretty sure that was the first guy. I wonder if the missus knows anything about that. And I believe it was also because, do you remember when the Ron Weasley hair was that old puffy one?
Yeah,
that was just insanely big.
They changed Ron's hair, didn't they?
Yeah, they changed Ron's hair to be more accurate because it wasn't.
Yeah. She just said they've changed his hair a few times.
Yeah, they've gone through multiple generations. Yeah, because like Harry Potter, because it came out in 2001, compared to Star Wars, that came out in 1999. The first Harry Potter minifigures were always better than the Star Wars ones, in my opinion. Because because 2001 compared to 1999, they had so many more different pieces. Even in over just a 2-year span, they had so many more pieces for the minifigs. Like if you look at the original Harry Potter, it looks okay. But if you look at the original Luke Skywalker, oh no.
Yeah, he's ugly looking. I agree.
Because it used the original male hair piece, and it made it look so awkward. I think the original Luke Skywalker would have looked better with, ironically, Ron Weasley's hair.
So, this is the king that I decided to do for mine. He's made out of quite a few different minifigs.
Yeah.
But, he's got the goldish chrome helmet. He's got the chrome sword. I'm not sure where the torso comes from.
That's from the collectible miniseries Knight or King.
Oh, okay. And then I put the Lion's Knight kind of cape on there, and with that other piece that almost looks like the velvet like neck piece. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I forget which one that came in as well, but I ended up doing the same kind of thing because I have like 5 or 6 different red kings, and it was always like, you know, I like this part of this one, I like that about that one, so I was just like, you know, I only need one red king, so I just like, I'm taking the best out of all of them and putting them on one minifigure.
Yeah, Hoarder says that king is pimped out, but he's a king. That's funny.
Because that's what, you know, that's another thing, you know, I'll look when people show like their armies and stuff, like some of these factions, it's not easy to come up with the ruling class for, you know, because all Lego does is give us red kings and queens. You know, if you're lucky if you got some blue ones.
Yeah, and you know, I feel like Lego really missed the opportunity this go around. They should have done a king and a queen, but instead they just did the Lion Knights and they just gave a queen with it.
Well, I've heard some news here on the castle front, and that is when you built the 90th castle, you know how there's those little side stories in the instruction manual?
Yeah.
Well, everything that has been talked about in there it's found its way into our hands, except I want to say that they talked about a king in the manual, and we haven't gotten a king yet, so you know that might still be to come.
Yeah, they may be coming out with another castle, then is what you're thinking.
Well, maybe not another castle, but
maybe
I'm
like
thinking if after this next set comes on shelves, if it does well and Lego's gonna release another castle set, my gut instinct is it'll be a jousting set, and maybe a king will come with that.
Are we make of the joust tournament from 2012 or the Knights Challenge from 1988?
Yeah, either one. You know, just because I mean, we don't really need another castle. We still have the Creator Castle on shelves, and then they're putting out these castles in the Bricklink Designer Program. Plus, the 90th castle is still there, so I can't see another castle coming right away. And so and now we're getting buildings for the town. So you need something else for the town, and they need a jousting area.
Didn't they have an old set that was kind of called? It was like called King's Procession or something like that, and it's like
it was the Knights Procession from 1979 that was like, I think it was either a 3 or a 4 pack of the classic Knights, and I'm pretty sure they all had the red and the black torso.
Well, and Hoarder says Forceman sets, and my theory on that is Lego's gauging the castle public right now, and if this next set performs pretty well, then we'll maybe we'll see a jousting set in like the $100 to $130 range, and if that performs well, then we'll see like Forestman style sets like Forest Hideout on store shelves for like, you know, the $30 to $50 range.
You know what would be cool if we got something that looked like the Forestman's River Fortress or the Forestman's River Crossing to bring to give us more ways to get those neo-classic Forestmen, which I'm going to say the Forestmen are my favourite castle things.
They are mine as well. I'm a Forestman guy for sure.
Which is why you're one of the ringleaders, or you are the leader of that Forestman Facebook group.
I will say that the Forestmen are pretty cool. I wish I had more space and money, to be honest with you. That I've seen those Forestman sets, like the not the smaller one like the hideout, but the bigger ones that actually came with a faceplate and everything.
Yeah.
That thing, even opened, is going like close to $400.
Well, I've now built the legs of the scaled up minifigure, so that's nice.
Very nice.
Yeah. So also well, you know what? While I've got the Trauma Team set right here, I'll give you a sneak preview of the driver, because we were talking about the evolution of some of the things. Mikey talked about the castle, and I've been talking about a whole bunch of different stuff. This is another thing. This was supposedly a paramedic in 1993. Just 3 years later, this is a paramedic from 1996. Big difference.
Yeah, the 96 one's definitely better there.
Yeah, because the 96 one has an actual cap and it has the Star of Life, and it's got the buttons instead of the zippers. Because this zipper pattern is actually no, there were two types of zipper patterns. They had this one and this one, and this one is the older one because I have a minifigure in here that is where is it? I have a minifigure in here that has it's this guy. Actually, no, that's a slightly different. There were three types of these old style kind of miscellaneous workers, and I'll order them from when they came out. If I can find the driver of what did I do with it? The far order I noticed the driver of the paramedic. I do remember I've got a whole bunch of stuff in here. What did I do with it?
So
did that set come with a biscuit and gravy?
So Mayo, I know you gotta have to have some of the old '80s policemen somewhere around there, don't you? With the white hat on, the white floppy hat.
Yeah, I've only got one.
You talk about, minifigures we have nostalgia for. That was my first Lego set. Came with two of those guys on a little police boat.
Yeah, so from right to left, you've got the original 1981 version, then you got the 1983 version, and then I think that's a 1997 one. No, so a 1987 one from right to left. Those were the original kind of workers, and then in the early 90s, they just got much better, and I thought I had a banker around here, but I guess I don't. But I did mention that I traded for Ned Flanders. That's Ned Flanders. And you know what? Since this figure came out, Lego has a new policy where characters that were actual people won't get molded heads, but characters that were animals will. So if they were to make the Simpsons thing again today, all of the humans would have regular heads, and stuff like Itchy and Scratchy would still have their molded heads. Because you notice that with the Toy Story minifigures, the human characters like Woody, who's a cowboy, or Buzz Lightyear, who's a space ranger, they went from the molded heads to the standard heads. But when they for both the collectible minifigures and that Toy Story 4, but and I think they also did the same. Well, actually, no, that's the first time we ever got a Bo Peep. But they kept all of the others as the molded heads. And also just quickly to throw out Marge Simpson. This is Curse. This is Marge's head on Bart's body.
Oh. Do you not have Marge's body?
Yes, it's somewhere around here. I'm pretty sure I've got Lisa's head or Maggie's head on Marge's body. And this is another one of my favorites. Like, compare this. This was a fire technician from the Launch Command set in 95. Compare that to this guy from 87. Way more details. Way more details.
No,
and even compare the Octane, the 1992 Octane worker to a 1995 Octane worker. Way more detail in the torso. Even though I still like the OG one better.
Yeah, I was gonna say I still like the old one better, but yeah, there is more detail in the newer one for sure.
Yeah. I like them both.
Yeah, because
the one on the left looks like the boss.
Yeah, the one on the left looks like he would be in charge of a service station, and this one is just a clerk.
Well, guys, I hate to do it to you, but it's already 11:30 my time, and I gotta get to work tomorrow. So
yeah.
Cut out of here myself.
I was thinking it's probably about the time for me as well. But this has been fun.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I got a blast.
Yeah. So before we, well, I've still got half an hour to do some stuff if I want to. So before RC goes, where can we find you on social media?
Yeah, as always, man. From Blocks to Mox, it's either Instagram or on YouTube. And on Instagram, it's from _blocks_2_mox. It just has to have the underscore because they don't let you do the space. So, but if you between Instagram and between YouTube, I'll be here on Friday nights, and then I post on YouTube very rarely, but it's mostly just for city tours, so I can give you guys more than a minute and a half video. And then, but yeah, man, that's where you can find me.
Yeah, and so hopefully if I don't mess up by next stream, we'll have all of your details in the description. And who knows, maybe if Mikey J Productions can commit to being a regular guest co-host, then we might get his details in the description, because everyone should go watch his castle and pirate storylines and go see his incredible fleet of pirate ships.
Indeed. I don't think I've seen anybody with as much pirates as Mikey has.
Yeah.
Well, you can find me, Mikey J Productions, here on YouTube. I'm also on Instagram and Facebook. Instagram's kind of my third stringer, though. And I'm also in Discord. I'm in Mayo's Discord server.
Discord.
I have my own live stream show called The Brick Chat. Me and my wife do Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then, like these guys saying, I release content regularly. And, we're going all in on our big 4 themes for 2024 of Pirates, Castle, Lord of the Rings, and Harry Potter. So if you like those kind of things.
And since those are 4, since those are 4 themes, maybe once every 4 weeks, you might be interested in coming on.
Maybe even more than that, Mayo. Maybe even more than that.
Yeah.
Keep throwing the StreamYard link at me, and I might show up more and more. Maybe I'll even have my computer on next week. How about that?
And it takes a lot of rigorous planning to get the right chemistry, and we like to develop formats where no one feels like a third wheel.
Well, I like this. You know, you got your city cam up. I've always been a fan of the 4 squares. I think too many squares gets overwhelming. 4 is a good number, and having your city be one of them, I think that's good.
Yeah, because because I'm kind of running out of steam myself. I'm just glad that I got the legs of this done. So I think I am going to attempt to build the head on the next stream, and then we should be done with the set. But we got through a lot of what we wanted to talk about quicker than I expected.
Yeah, no, a lot of good topics, man, especially about minifigures. I was surprised we were able to make that conversation go quite a while.
And I appreciate the preparation instead of just free flowing. I like that you have prepared topics and stuff. That's good.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah, because if we all like this format, and Mikey can commit to at least coming on a couple times a month, much like how RC's committed to be full time, then we can have actual production meetings to figure out how people want to contribute to the show and what segments people want to do. Because I think when we're ready to commit to production meetings, which I'm not ready right now, and I'm not sure if you guys wouldn't have the time either. Once we can settle on a few things, we can make a lot of things more permanent.
Well, we're all on Instagram, so I mean, if you want to start a DM on Instagram and with just 3 of us in it, and toss ideas around, I mean, that works.
Sure.
Yeah, we're definitely going to work on that, and I'll let y'all tap out while I wrap up this stream.
Yeah, and we know you got the school thing going on right now too.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
So you don't need to overwhelm yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Just I feel like it's pretty legit as it is, and then you've got really good content as it is going. So, like I said, focus on that school, man, because don't blow off school for Lego.
Yeah, which is why I like to rigorously plan everything so I can be the most busy person I can be. Because if I'm just a lazy little asshole, then I'm not really doing anything, am I?
Yeah.
Anyway, I'll let you guys tap out.
Peace, everyone. Have a good night.
It's been great talking with you guys. Thanks, everybody in the chat. It's been amazing. Unfortunately, I do have to bail. So, good to see you, Mikey.
Yeah. See you guys. If I don't talk to you before next Friday, I'll see you then.
Okay. All right, Mikey. Thank you, Mayo. We'll talk to you soon, buddy.
TTYL.
Later, bud.
Yeah, so I'm going to wrap up this stream by myself because we do have some stuff to do before we get on out of here. So first, I want to thank everyone who has watched the stream. I'll scroll back to the top of the chat. We had Gladiator Productions, Mr. Blue, Border 66, Lego Team B, Johnny G from Blocks to Mox, our co-host, Christine Harper, Dave Brick 76, Seth Bland, Digital Fanboy, Grumpy J, Mikey J Productions, who was our guest panelist, YOLO X, Clever Pig, who else? Zissou, Sultan Force, Scott's Blocks, who else is down here? Steve Weiser, Trev's Reborn, Click and Cliff, Who else we got down here? I'm having to scroll a long way. Brick Hive. And looks like that was everyone. Yeah. So thank you for watching this stream. It is appreciated. Yeah, and as Porter says, don't forget to don't forget to hit that like button. Where are we now? Yeah. So also, I want to go to Instagram really quickly and just see something. And for yeah, I can't do it with this. God damn it! Hate it when it does this. I'm going to go to Instagram and see if anyone's used the hashtag RealHoeg, because if you use the hashtag RealHoeg on your Instagram posts, we will read it. I'm going to see if anyone's used that as of recently. Oh yes. Wait. Oh yeah. Let me do this. I didn't read this earlier. Let's go to Instagram. I should have done this over a month ago. So let's search for the hashtag RealHoeg on Instagram. Oh. Link's broken. What? That's weird. Let's go to search. Hashtag RealHoeg. Okay, that's really dumb. That's really dumb. Why can't I search for hash? Oh yeah, go to explore. Explore. Why can't I use the hashtag search for the hashtag RealHoeg? That's dumb. I'm gonna have to retrofit this. Instagram. Search for Instagram. Hashtag RealHoeg. So that's weird. It was working on. Yeah, that's just really weird. That's bizarre. Let's just go to the Instagram homepage. I don't know why I can't search for hashtags. Hashtag real whole egg. 21 posts. Okay, now we can get to it. Let's share this screen, shall we? Okay, now we got it. So now we got to do the little bit of the stinger. Yeah, I'm kind of doing this on the fly.
Maybe instead of doing, or maybe in addition to tweet time each week, we should do Instagram time. That doesn't have the same ring as tweet time, honestly.
Yeah, so we got this one from Mikey J Productions, where he used the hashtag for his post about Lego Castle Adventures Episode 5, and that's the storyline I was talking about. What Mikey's doing. Use the hashtag RealHoeg, and look at that thumbnail. It's a giant pile of dung. And if you've actually watched his episode, then you know. And this is as someone who used the hashtag RealHoeg, but has nothing to do with Lego. I think that's from from a store that actually sells mayonnaise. Whoopsie. So yeah, that was Instagram time. And so yeah, that's everyone. Yeah, let me just go back and read some comments really quickly. Because Hoarder said a bunch of stuff. Lots of stuff gets hate, and it's almost never warranted. It's almost always comes from people wanting an exact remake of their childhood sets, and when a flag color is different or a helmet is a different mold, they lose their minds. Yeah, because people really care about prototypical accuracy with their stuff, when that's not what the magic of Lego does, and I need to do a video about what the magic of Lego is in a future video. Just don't say the best sword was the Darksaber, because no, had to buy third party for that. Yeah, I can assume a lot of those accessories get expensive. Imagine a chrome gold crown with gemstones. That would look a lot like some kings from the Bible, I could imagine. Also says, I only collect Star Wars, but the figs from before 2010 are not important to me at all. Yeah, because if you go through the evolution of Star Wars minifigures, a lot of those ones don't have the best accuracy. Also says, imagine if Lego took specific orders from people and made them their personal set. I'm taking the build and the figs all the way down to the prints. No, so I'm talking the build and the figs all the way down to the prints. Lego has attempted to do that in the past, but it hasn't been to that extent, and the reason they stopped is because it's just too expensive. I think if there was more of a demand, they could justify the cost of doing it. Yeah, and like what you said, the unbelievable amount it would charge. Yes, I do sort with KFC buckets because I actually keep my brick separators in a KFC bucket, and when I need to transport stuff for streams like minifigures, or when I'm trying to put away stuff, sometimes I have them, store them in there. Also says, the only nostalgia I really have is for Ice Planet. As a kid, I had multiple things, but Ice Planet was the only thing I completed. I never had the bigger sets, like the Deep Freeze Defender or the Ice Station Odyssey, but I did have the Celestial Sled, the Ice Tunnelator, and the medium one that had the, actually no, I didn't have the one that had the two wide trans-owing, but I did windscreen, but I did have the Ice Sat 5, and the Ice Sat 5 is my most nostalgic set of all time. I want to say it's my first set I ever got was the Ice Sat 5. Clever Pig said, Ice Planet is super cool. I love the white, blue, and transneon orange. That was a really cool color scheme, and I'd love it if Lego were, well, because they're doing all these neo-classic sets, I'd love for them to do neo-classic versions of things other than classic space. But let's be honest, classic space is where the money is. And then Horta says, yeah, they were awesome. Built my first X-Wing out of Ice Planet. That's interesting. Before Lego Star Wars was even a thing. Yeah, because Ice Planet came out in 1993, and Lego didn't get the Star Wars license until 1999. Now, Hollywood Squares, kind of like London Calling. And that was everyone in the comments. So we ended this much quicker than I expected because I got this built quicker. I got these legs built quicker than what I thought I was gonna. And we're very succinct with our conversations. And I'm sure there's a bunch of stuff where we explore about minifigures. We'll circle back to this again in the future. But probably again when I do my video about why I think minifigures are overrated. So stay tuned for that in the future. And yeah, we'll probably end this slightly before Wick live stream. So if you want to see Hive's live stream, just stay on YouTube for another 10 minutes and wait. But since I'm ending before his, I can't raid into his. So just yeah, that's just how it's gonna be. Anyway, that's all I have to say. I'll see you on my next short. I'll see you on my next live stream. which is always at 9 p.m. Eastern on a Friday night in North America, which is 1 p.m. Australian Eastern every Saturday. And I'll see you in the next video. And who knows, maybe Mikey J Productions might be a regular guest co-host. So lots of exciting stuff for the future of my streams, and all of you guys can live the exciting times with me by returning at this same time every week. Let's roll the credits. Thank you for watching.
Thank you for supporting mayohosko Media. Your viewership is very important to us. Tell YouTube you like us by smashing the like button. Let your thoughts be known in the comments down below. Never miss out on any more LEGO content from us by hitting the subscribe button and ringing the notification bell. Stay tuned for live streams every Friday night at 9 p.m. Eastern in North America, and monthly city updates on the last Wednesday or Thursday of every month. If you like Minecraft and gaming streams, follow us on Twitch, mayo_hosko, no capital letters. Twitch streams every Saturday morning at 8 a.m. Eastern in North America. To be in the know, follow us on Instagram and Twitter at real_mayohosko. Have fun with us on our Discord server. Friend us on Facebook and join the fan club group. For business inquiries, email us at mayohosko@gmail.com. For historical inquiries, check out our website. For special community perks, including behind the scenes, voting rights, and early access videos, become an investor today by pledging to us on Patreon. Links in the description. Watch this video recommended to you, or check out this playlist if you missed any previous videos of the same genre. This has been mayohosko, and I am a fan of old LEGO. #AFOO.